everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me, per usual, you know him as the Beard and New Reliable and the Spider-Man villain, Mr. Negative on a Dragon Ball Z Redemption arc. It is Brian. He's here with us today. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing okay. I'm trying to get my mic to stay in front of my face. It keeps turning slightly to the left, and it's kind of it's pissing me off.
Yeah, man. Listeners, unless me and Brian royally fucked up, we're in a minisode this week. Because it's been pretty busy times nowadays, specifically for me, but also for everyone. And this probably maybe hop into our free for all. Me and Brian and Alex all saw each other this weekend in person, in human form. So we were busy, and also sort of a big news week, but not a whole lot happened. I feel like big events happened, but not much. I feel was worthy of talking about, I think. But so yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a shorter episode this week. We are not talking about the Netflix live action Avatar series. Maybe I'll throw some thoughts in my free for all because I have managed to watch all 8 episodes. But we might get to that in the future in the next couple weeks. Same thing with look forward to Final Fantasy VII. Not Rebirth, but remake. Here are my Rebirth thoughts. Maybe at some point, and then yeah, Dune. Maybe at some point as well. But until then, Brian, should we hop into our first segment of the week?
Let us do it.
News talk.
All righty. First piece of news. This came out pretty early last week. This was first reported by Deadline and Variety, or followed up by them, that Disney is apparently striking a deal with Sony to take over their physical media stuff in terms of releasing like DVDs and Blu-rays and 4K DVDs or Blu-rays and stuff like that, which is interesting.
Sony's like, we'll do anything to catch a little bit of your bag. Like, let us sweep your floors. We'll mop your floors. We'll clean your toilets. Just let us have something.
Let us have something. We just put out Madam Web. We need something, please.
Yeah, and I made all of $8, so they're looking for something to do. No, I don't know. I mean, I guess it all makes sense what they're doing here. But at the same time, it's really interesting because, of course, we know that physical media as a medium as a whole is dying. It's on its way out. CEOs have decided at this point that I guess the sales aren't high enough and that they don't want to spend the extra money to do production or pay retailers because they can find out that they make more money by not doing that. And that's sad, because you and I may be the last people on Earth that actually really appreciate physical media. And I think a lot of people should appreciate physical media because there's a lot of ways that's going to be the last way that you can keep things forever. Mm-hmm. We've seen with things like the Nintendo shop for the Wii U, that going out.
Yeah. Yep.
Once that goes, there's nowhere else to access that information.
We've seen it with Disney.
Yeah, we've seen it with Disney.
No one can watch Willow ever again, that TV show.
A show that I was very interested in and just didn't watch because I didn't have the time at the time, but also apparently just did so poorly that they just deleted it. It just doesn't exist.
Like I feel like we didn't stress enough how weird that like I don't understand the purpose or the benefits. Like it's on your streaming service. Like
it's already something created. You know what I mean? Like you can't put the baby back in the womb. It's already out. You know, like I don't understand.
Cooked. It's out.
Yeah, it's already cooked. It's already out. I don't understand putting it back. That doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, that's why piracy is king and it'll always exist because no one wants to pay $250 to play Pokemon Blue, and also people want to watch Willow, and it's stupid that you can't do that.
Yeah, it's a weird time we're getting in, and streaming has become such a obviously huge thing for the majority of the world, I would imagine, in terms of how they receive their media. And it's become a bit of a double-edged sword in that. I don't know if it'll get to a point where people will be upset because people seem to be very okay with, whatever, it's fine. I don't need to own stuff like that. Blah blah blah. It's all there, and
I think it's gonna take. Man. Right now, we're at a place of just like bloat in digital media. That I think is going to take for like the first few like bigger companies to go out of business for people to really understand what happens. Because right now we're definitely oversaturated in the market. We got Peacocks and Paramounts and Netflixes and Hulus. But when Peacock like finally goes out of business and you can't watch The Office anymore, or it gets like bought out or something happens like that, I think that's when people are going to actually understand how serious this is. I think in like gaming a lot, there's a lot of gaming stores. There's, Unity, the Uplay store, there's Steam, there's Epic Game Store. I have hundreds of games on Steam. Hundreds, which means I have probably tens of thousands of dollars worth of games on Steam. If Steam went out of business for whatever reason, if Valve didn't exist anymore, I lose those games. I lose tens of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. I don't think that'll happen. But something like Uplay or like EA Store, that was a big one. That used to be Origin, and it changed its name to try to
Right.
repackage. And now it's a big on Game Pass as well. But like,
Mhm.
there probably be a point where one of those stores ends up going out, and those games will just be lost. Some of my games are just lost because I just don't even remember the login that I got them from, or I don't remember what fucking storefront I got them on. I
Right.
don't know. I think
Right.
it's gonna take a big reckoning before people really like understand how significant this is as a whole.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, again, this is why I do appreciate people like Christopher Nolan who have been big on promoting things like physical media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I think he also sees what's happening. It's similar to the whole debate of like why people like Christopher Nolan and a lot of different like film directors like that really love filming on actual film and not digitally. There's something about that. It's just different, you know? It's
Right.
like just the advancement of like CG and technology is like some things you just cannot replicate.
Yeah, it's building a house. You know what I mean? When you build a house, that house can
Yeah.
survive way past your existence. We can't say the same about digital media. It's just not as tangible, and that, you know what I mean. Like I can build a bank, and that bank could exist way past where my life exists. And it'll still be there. We
Right.
have buildings in Europe and in America that have just lived for so long, but like Willow doesn't exist, and there's no tangible evidence that it technically existed. You know what I mean?
There's no there's no fingerprint. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's just that's a weird thing to accept. I don't know.
Yeah. It goes with the thing you mentioned right before we started recording of how Best Buy announced, I think we might have even talked about this on the podcast at some point now. They announced that they're going to phase out their DVD and Blu-ray sales in their stores completely. That's kind of crazy. I was like, next thing you know, it's going to be video games. They're not
Right.
going to sell physical video games in store anymore, you know?
Mm-mm. And I mean, to go back to the topic of the actual story of it going to Sony, is I think a big reason it's going to Sony is because Sony was willing to pick up the pieces, and they knew it wasn't a lot of
Yeah.
money, but it is some money, and then just like, you can have it, it's fine. Like we'll let you keep
Right.
doing that, and they probably, I mean, they have so many deals with Sony, they probably get a cheaper rate for it, so they're still saving money in the
Hmm.
bank. Because I mean, the big thing is a lot of production is retailers get 30%. Like that's pretty the standard number that retailers get when you make a movie or video game. 30% of the sale, like the market price of the game, goes towards the retailer. People don't want to pay
Hmm.
that. There's a reason that Sony buys all the big game dev studios and then have them release all their games, and then why online is pushed so hard. They don't want to pay that money. Disney, I'm sure, is no different.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. It might come to a point we're in a world where me and you are holding the last copy of Frogger or some shit. I don't
Not Frogger. Oh
know.
no, we brought RDB. Jesus Christ.
All right, next piece of news. This is a fun one. This was coming out during Nintendo Directs, their partner showcase that was a couple days ago. One of the highlights, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, as they're calling it, which consists of both Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. Well, one of those games came out 2003. Was maybe Battlefront 2 or something like that. Great games. Fucking awesome games. Phenomenal games coming out March 14th. So very fucking soon. I remember, was it you or Devin that texted our group chat about this?
I texted the group chat because I needed Devin to know, and I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if he was going to find it quick enough because I think I saw it as soon as it was announced. And I was like, somebody needs to know this, and it's fucking Devin.
Yes. Ugh.
One thing Devin has always wished for, and he's talked about it multiple times throughout our lives, is like, man, I really wish you could still play those games on the original like Xbox and PlayStation, the Battlefront games. And it sucks that these
Mhm.
like Respawn games, is it Respawn? Something like that. It's
Yeah.
one of the whoever makes Battlefield.
No, Dice.
Dice. Yeah. And they're like, it's just really, they're just not the same. And here we go. Once again, nostalgia
Here we are.
wins again, baby. We just put another
Yep.
game on that everyone loved back in the day. Hardly remastered.
Basically. Yeah. But I mean, look, I think that, yeah, they've announced that it is going to have online components so you can play on, like, he's getting his wish. And, like,
Yeah.
those games were amazing. They were so good. There's a reason why people were so psyched for that Dice remake, or not remake, just, I guess, reimagining of the series that sort of panned out better. Definitely had a real rocky and rough start. Eventually kind of got there. Got to a
Yeah.
place where people enjoyed it. I played both of the Dice Battlefront 1 and 2 games, and I enjoy them both, and they're gorgeous. But yeah, this is a nice little throwback. I remember where we played this in college. I think at one point someone whipped it out on an old Xbox or some shit. And we played some split screen, old school split screen couch
Yeah,
co-op shit.
yeah. No, I love them. They're phenomenal games, and even like like you said, like they had some rocky starts. But like Battlefront 2, the Dice version, an immaculate game and beautiful, really,
Oh
really
my
way
god,
ahead of its
yeah.
time as far as like
Woo.
the way that graphics look for that game. I'm surprised at how good it looks.
Mhm.
So really enjoyed it. Actually came out for free for a while on PC. I don't know if it's still
Oh,
like
wow.
that, but yeah. So that I got to play a decent bit of it when that came out, and I had a decent computer at the time, and I was like, God damn, it's a good looking game.
It is, yeah, it is pretty game. Yeah.
Yeah, but no more words to say. No notes. This game's amazing, and I can't wait to play them for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially with Devin now having a new Switch, he's coming out on Switch.
Yeah,
He is absolutely gonna play it. I don't know if they said there's gonna be any kind of crossplay. I don't
there
remember.
has to be. If there's, I mean, there needs to be. I should say it
There
that way.
needs to be.
Yeah, I don't know if there will be. There needs to be. If Fortnite can do it, y'all need to fix that shit so y'all can do it too.
Is Fortnite on Switch?
Fortnite's on Switch. Fortnite's on mobile. Fortnite's on every single system you
Is
can
it
think of.
crossplay on those things as
Yes.
well?
It sure is. You can turn it off so it doesn't
Oh
have
wow,
to be
okay.
because obviously you have a better chance at winning,
Right.
not against those people.
Yeah.
But it can be crossplay
Oh,
if you want
okay.
to be. You
I
can get
wasn't
on
sure
your
if
phone
Nintendo
and
had
you can play with me
crossed
on
that
my
boundary.
PC with a 3080 or whatever.
That's crazy.
But
That's insane.
yeah, right.
That's really funny. Very exciting stuff. This might be a game that if we all end up picking this up, because I don't. It's probably gonna be like $40. I don't know if they announced the price or not.
If it's any more than
But
that, I'm gonna throw up.
yeah, no, I won't. I'm not gonna do it. I still have to finish a different Star Wars game that I haven't finished yet.
That's fair.
All right, next piece of news. Brian, did you ever watch The Fairly Odd Parents as a
I
kid?
sure did. I loved the Fairly Odd Parents.
I did too. That was probably one of my top 3 shows growing up. I ever
Remember
remember.
when Drake Bell did the live
Oh,
action
we don't
version?
gotta go there. We don't have to go there, Brian. We don't even have to talk about him. I
And then
think
he
he's in
fled to
jail. We don't gotta
Mexico,
talk.
and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When that happened, that was past my time. I think as a child, I had already fallen off the Fairly Odd Parent wagon. But this piece of news has made me want to go back and at least watch the last episode to just know how that cartoon actually ended. Because this was announced that the Fairly Odd Parents are getting a brand new sequel series with the original Cosmo and Wanda voice actors. No Timmy Turner, sadly. He's not in this show.
what happened to him? Did he die? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I want to know.
I assume he became an adult, so he's like, I don't need you anymore. Like, that makes the most realistic
Right.
sense. But also at the same time, like, that sucks. Like, what
It
the fuck?
does suck. I'm kind of upset, but the one thing that I don't because I don't watch Nickelodeon anymore as the age I am now, and I forget that they kind of make all of their shows CG animated now. And so
Oh,
when
do they?
I saw that this is now going to be a CG animated show, it's not going to look, I would imagine, like the old show. I'm like, bit of a bummer, but that's just the way things are now.
Oh, no. I guess I got to see what that looks like, I
Yeah,
guess. Because, I mean, a lot of the anime, like, Attack on Titan and stuff like that, they got to the point where they were using a lot of CG work, but it looked good.
right. That's true.
It can also look not good. So that's what scares me.
Yeah. So we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's gonna be 20 episodes because probably it's gonna be on what, either Nickelodeon or Paramount Plus, one of the two.
Probably
'Cause they're the
both,
same.
I
Yeah,
assume.
probably both. But yeah, it's gonna be a takeover with a new 10-year-old kid named Hazel Wells.
Mm.
In a city that I am not even gonna try to name because it's a made up city. Uh, I mean, very fun. I mean, I'd love to see that show come back for a new generation of children and maybe go back because I really did love that show growing up. That was a great show.
Okay, what you said was very positive, and that'll make me change my stance on it. Because I was definitely along the lines of like, no, this is fucking stupid. We don't need this. And you were like, no, a new
Yeah,
generation of kids can enjoy this. Fair.
maybe.
I'll
But at the same
accept that.
time, they're definitely milking nostalgia.
Yes,
1,000%.
and I hate that. All right, it's like, who is this for?
Exactly. Like, yeah, that's the other thing is that will it even do well? Do kids care? Who knows?
Because iCarly got canceled because that was one of those things where it was like, who is this for?
Did it really?
Yeah, the remake or whatever. Before they even did
Well,
the
there you
big
go.
reveal of who the fucking mother was.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. That's why they should just do it. If they're gonna do it as a one-off.
Right.
Like how they made that Breaking Bad movie. That was technically a sequel to the series with Jesse, but it was just
It was just a
one
movie.
done.
Mm.
That's it. No
I didn't like
more.
it very
This
much,
is it.
but it was just that. They try to convince me that Todd was somehow 25 still.
Okay, yeah, that was the
Even
worst
though
part.
he looked
I
like
enjoyed that movie, but yeah, that was bad. That was
that
tough.
man
That was
looked like
tough.
a whole ass dad. I saw those fucking crow's feet on that man's eyes. You want to tell me that man is 25? Shut the fuck up.
The funniest part was that they tried to use they tried to Austin Powers it by putting stuff in front of his face to obscure him every now and then. But then 10 minutes later, they're just like, no, it's just him. They just show him fully. It's like, what was the point in that? Why
Man.
even try? But that's pretty much it. That's just fun news. Cool, good for them. Brian, I guess we'll hop into the trailer park for this because yeah, we'll switch it up. We'll hop to the trailer park and talk about some Elden Ring. So let's do that.
Mom's Spaghetti.
We doggy. I sure do love. I don't know, beanie weenies. I was on the spot. I got scared. I was nervous. Don't look at me.
Yeah, listeners. One trailer that we're gonna talk about real quick. A lot of people, I'm sure. I don't even know if Alex has heard about this yet. He's been pretty busy the past couple weeks as well. He might not know.
I mean, has he even finished original version?
That's true. I know, right? Yeah. But Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, the long-awaited DLC. They finally had a gameplay reveal trailer. I just finished watching it. It's like 3 minutes long. Again, like a lot of these trailers, they look real dope. I don't know what is going on or any of this lore or any of it. Does it even matter? I don't know. It
Yeah,
matters to some people probably.
I love FromSoft games because they'll put all this fucking deep ass whatever, and none of it is anything. Like all the
None
words
of
at the bottom of the trailer just like describe the trailer. Like a
Yeah.
place obscured by the Erd Tree where goddess Marika first set foot a land Persian. What does any of that mean? I don't. Those
doesn't
aren't
matter.
words. This isn't English. I don't understand.
It's just a game. You just go beat the boss. Go die a lot and go beat the boss eventually, and then
That's
that's
all
it.
that matters. Exactly.
I have like a decent amount through the first Dark Souls, and I have no idea what the point. What's anything? I don't know.
I beat the first Dark Souls and I don't know anything.
There you go. There you have it. But look, I mean, again, one of these days, me and you will play this game.
I just wanted to go on sale.
I really did
Why
too.
is it
And
still $60? What the fuck?
with this DLC, it might never go on this
Right.
sale.
At least Cyberpunk went down to 30 when they released the DLC. Fucking come on, help a
Right.
bro out. Even Armored Core is
Yeah.
40. We were just talking about that off cast.
Yeah. One day. I really want to play it. I really do.
I do too.
really
I
wanna
feel like I
play it,
have
but
to
it's
for the
just-
culture. It's one of those games that I feel like changed the gaming scape.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll play it. I know Alex is gonna be super stoked. I wonder if it's gonna be a thing where you could just hop to the DLC, or if it's
Right.
just like it's in the game and it's just an area that's now unlocked for you to go to.
That would be interesting. I would have to. I actually haven't played any of the Dark Souls DLC, so I'm not really sure how that usually works.
Yeah.
Like
don't
if it's
know
something that
either.
you can just like you have to start at level 1 or something like that, or if it's like, oh, you can bring your overpowered ass character into this new world where you're already overpowered.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how that
Like
works.
that might
either.
not be fun.
That's a good point. Yeah, I've never thought about that. Interesting though. June 21st. June 21st.
Yeah.
So there you go, Elden Ring fans. You get a little summer surprise. Alrighty then. That is the news. That is it. Brian, we've done it. So now shall we hop into our main topic of the week, our very brief grasping at straws main topic.
It's a topic.
It's a topic. Yeah, listeners. So we're kind of still in the trailer park and still part of the news, but we're gonna take this time to talk about a movie that we don't know should exist, but it is, and it is in fact coming out, and it might break one of my my premonitions from earlier this year, because we're in the Fortress of.
Kevin Hart is in another fucking movie. We're talking about Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands. No, listeners, they didn't make a Borderlands 4. This is the Borderlands movie. I believe it's Eli Roth is directing it. The very much seemingly troubled behind the scenes of this movie. It's actually here. It's actually a thing. And they showed the first trailer. Huh.
I 100% thought this was never going to come out. I thought this was going to be dead on arrival. And there would never be a trailer or anything. And I thought they were going to be like, oh, the pandemic, fuck this. We're just going to delete it. I was actually hoping and praying, to be completely honest with you. But nope, we received a trailer. It exists.
I mean, look, clearly it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, to a T. It's 1,000% Guardians of the Galaxy. But it could work. I don't think effects-wise it looks all that great. It looks a little too CG. We shot this on in a box somewhere. But there's potential. There's possibilities there.
I see this going one of two ways. So either, I'm gonna try to hang on the fence and not be too negative or whatever about it. There's a good chance it could go the way of Dungeons and Dragons, where
Right.
it's kind of culty. it doesn't really make a whole lot of money, unfortunately, but the people that did watch it understand that it actually was a really well done film that did a lot of interesting stuff that was fun. So the people that liked it really
Mhm.
liked it. And it's unfortunate that not enough people saw it because it is actually a good movie. On the other
Right.
hand, it is an absolute dog pile piece of shit. And is unfunny, and it is soulless, and it is awful, a la Madam Web, The Flash, movies like that. And it's just like that. It's just a pure cash grab. No one expected this movie to make any money, but they tried their best. This is what we got. It's
Yeah.
one or the other. It
Look,
cannot be both. It is going to be one or the other.
yeah. And look, I was gonna say, like, it's got a great cast for the most part. I know Kevin Hart's the weird outlier, I think,
I
out of
think
everyone
everyone's the
here.
weird outlier. Let's talk
Oh,
about it.
really?
Why is
Okay, let's
everybody
go.
so goddamn old in this fucking That's my biggest issue. It's like, yes, this is an all-star cast. They have a lot of great
So-
people. There's so much good in it when you got Kevin Hart, you got Kate Blanchett, Jack Black is fucking Claptrap, which he's the only one that's like, okay, this fits, whatever. He does a good
That
job
works.
of doing just a weird fucking character. Kate Blanchett's in her
Yeah.
fucking 50s. You know how
She
old Lilith is
is.
supposed to be in the actual fucking game?
Is she like
22.
20, 25? Okay, yeah.
22. Why the fuck? And Kate Blanchett, beautiful, great looking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
She
yeah.
looks every bit of 54 to me. She sure doesn't
Yeah, I
look
don't
like
know
she
what
could
it
be
is, 'cause,
20.
like, I feel like when I first heard it, I was like, it could work in terms of, like, I thought she looked super great and very much like a Lilith in Ragnarok when she was Hela. I was
Yeah.
like, that could I could see it there. I don't know if it's the hair or is she wearing contacts that something about it looks off. And
It's
I
one
don't
of
know
those
what it
things
is.
where it's like, I could see this being on Netflix because everybody just looks like they're in costume.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little
And
bit Netflixy.
that's already
Uh-huh.
stressing me. Or like Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal kind of give me the same. I haven't watched it yet, but they're in the trailers. It's just kind of giving that feel
Yeah.
about it. And
Yeah.
then, of course, yes, Kevin Hart, this 5'2" ass funny man that
It's
has only
rolling.
played Kevin Hart the same way that Rock only plays The Rock, is going to be Roland, a character that's supposed to be very serious and very upstanding,
Mhm.
is now a 5'2" ass black man that's going to make jokes the whole time. That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I will give him the credit, at least from my memory in this trailer. I don't know if he made many jokes
Nope.
in the trailer.
He's finally trying to
Like,
act.
Yeah, and I'm like, interesting choice to start doing
Literally
that
could have picked
in this.
any other dark-skinned black man. It probably would have been a better choice than him. No offense to him. What he does is what he
Yeah.
does, and he makes a lot of money from it. People love him. But
Yeah.
this your agent was fucking with you when they put you on this project.
It's so interesting. It's a very interesting choice.
It's such a
It's
weird
very
choice
interesting
to me.
choice.
And I'm like, why did you could have picked fucking Anthony Mackie. Honestly, that would have been a better choice.
Honestly, yeah, that actually works.
I think that would have made more sense because I do think he has enough of like I can make jokes, but in like a series, the same way that Idris Elba does with like
Yeah.
Knuckles in Sonic, where it's like
Right.
it's not so slapstick,
Mhm.
but it's kind of like he can make the joke of like, oh, I'm the serious person in a group of idiots kind of situation.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know why I don't in movies like this that focus so hard on an all-star cast are usually because they have a pretty weak everything else. You'd kind of
Mhm.
notice the Scooby-Doo movie that came out in like 2020. That was a good example. That movie was an atrocity. Terrible movie. But they got the Zac Efrons and the fucking, I don't know, Anya Taylor-Joys, all those kinds of people
Right.
in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, y'all don't believe in this.
Uh-huh.
You think it has to be carried
Yeah.
by A-list actors.
If he tries to just do this straight and no jokes, it'll be very weird. It'll be very weird. I like yeah, I don't know. It's a weird choice.
Yeah, I don't like any of the only casting I like is Jack Black because Jack Black can
Black,
just
yeah.
basically do it. He's got a range that's we
Yeah,
don't talk
I
about
mean,
enough.
I want to give homegirl what's her name, Ariana Greenblatt, who's been getting a lot of work lately as Tiny Tina. Obviously, we saw her. She was young Gamora. She was young Ahsoka. She was in the Barbie movie. She's getting a lot of shit. I don't know if she's the best for Tiny Tina.
She's not. Honestly, don't know who would be. And that's because Tiny Tina
I
has
don't know either.
such a distinct personality in the way that she
Mhm.
acts.
Yeah.
And it's not portrayed very well in the trailer, at least. I don't know if they're gonna workshop that a little bit more in the actual movie. But if they don't,
Yeah.
I feel like they're really, I don't know, they're just setting up for a
I
bad
need her
character.
voice to be more annoying.
Exactly. She's supposed to be annoying. She's supposed to be big on like references and stuff like that, and talking kind of like
Honestly,
at the,
we need Ryan Reynolds. to be Tiny
We need a
Tina.
female
We
Ryan.
need who's
No,
that? I don't know who it
Don't even
is.
make it a female. Just make it Ryan Reynolds, and just don't. We don't talk about it. It's just Ryan Reynolds is this little girl. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, I think that's not a bad idea because yeah, I think that's a big part of her character is the fact that she is always saying just really dumb shit of like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna get fucking stinky in here, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that.
I don't
So we'll
know.
see. It's taking
I could, you know who? I just thought I could see homegirl Bella Ramsey. I could see her being maybe a Tiny
Belarus.
Tina.
I could see that. I think she's got the range for it for sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's a
yeah,
little bit of Ellie, just with a more annoyance to it.
yeah, just being a shithead, I think is really
Yeah,
important, and yeah, she did a good job being a shithead on that show.
but
Yeah,
we'll see about that. I mean, obviously, I don't know the other Florian, the other guy playing the what's his name? Krieg. What I forgot what the enemy type is called in the game though. I can't
you're like a
remember.
psycho, I think they're
Um,
called. But yeah,
yeah,
he's the
yeah,
big
yeah. There you
psycho.
go. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know this man at
Yeah,
all. He looks like a tall drink of water though.
I
Man, is
think that's
six
the dude
four.
that was. I think that's the guy from Creed, the Creed
He
movies. He
sure
played
is. He was
yeah, he's the
also
Drago guy.
in Shang-Chi.
Yeah, he was the Razor Fist, Razor Claw,
Sure.
Razor Fist, something like that. Doesn't matter.
He actually, yeah, he
He's
hasn't
the
been in a
big
lot, but the
guy.
stuff he's been in is like big stuff. Good for him.
Yeah. Um, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, who I
Another
mean,
another choice.
that's yeah. I mean, she I think she's fairly infamous for loving kind of like a lot of dirty shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, hell of a cast, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna spark the Guardians magic. They're gonna try. They're gonna try.
I mean, we've had
But
2.5 phenomenal uh, Guardians movies. I don't like 2. I think 2 is pretty lackluster. But 1 and
mhm,
3, I think, are very good movies. So when you already got that, it's really it feels like it's too late to make offshoots of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Guardians 3's wrapped up now. We've already done that kind of stuff. So now when you start to make like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's not it's not gonna hit the same. Like you missed your window to do. You should have made it after the first one if you're gonna make something like this. Also, I don't really like Borderlands 3 did come out in 2019. So like yes, we've had a fairly recent Borderlands game, but like before that, the last Borderlands game came out in 2012. There was Tales of the Borderland that came out in, like 2015. Like the 20 teens were when this would have felt best. That's another one of those things that's like, why now? Why do we do this now? Um,
Right.
which, to be fair, I thought the same thing with Sonic, and look where we are with that. So
That's a good point. Anything is possible.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the children yearn for Borderlands, and I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I just can't believe how much money did they give Kate Blanchett to be in this movie is what I really
That's
want
what I'm
to know.
saying. It's like I know you had to spend so much on these Kevin Hart does not get out of bed for little money. You know what I mean? He doesn't do
Right.
shit because he
Yeah.
believes in it. He does shit because he wants some
Right.
money. Like
Yeah.
I just can't believe like you spent all this money on who believes in this? What investor was like, I'm really just want a Borderlands movie. And that's the thing too. It's like
Yeah.
the live action component. Why is
Mhm.
this live action? This could be great if maybe it had like a across the Spider Verse kind of art style or something like that with these people as voice actors. I could totally see that. Why the fuck is this live action?
People love it. They love to see their things come to life in a new way, you know?
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my question is like, based off this cast, I would imagine they're gonna do Borderlands 1 story, or is this completely new or a new take or what? I
Well,
don't know. But also like
spoilers. Uh, Roland's still alive. He is not alive in number 2. So he's alive in number
yeah.
1. So I would think they're doing
Yeah.
that. I'm trying to think. I feel like Krieg wasn't in number 1 though. I could be wrong. I might be
I
getting them
can't
mixed up. I thought he was in number 2. Uh,
no. Oh,
because I
it might
played 2
be
first before I
both.
played 1. I played 1 because I enjoyed 2 so much, and I feel like
Same.
Creek was into. So I could be mixing them up. I don't know. Still haven't played 3. I have it. I got it for free. Still haven't played it.
I kept hearing mixed things about that one anyway, so I never got
Yeah.
around to it.
It's a huge ass install. It's like 90 gigs. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of space to take on my computer. It's great. So
Yep.
yeah, so it's like that thing where it's like maybe they're mixing stories. Maybe they're doing like a Uncharted kind of situation where they might be mixing some stories. Borderlands 1
That's
story is not nearly as interesting as number 2 to me.
right. But then they'd have to introduce all those other characters in too. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Because I'm not very familiar with the first one's story. So because what's his face? Handsome Jack isn't in one, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Which it
I
seems
don't
like
know,
they're
man.
they showed a character that looks like it's supposed to be Handsome Jack, but maybe they're gonna do like a origin story of
Mm,
him or something like that. Because I do think he's a character worth talking. I think he's one of the more interesting
yeah,
characters of the series.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. When's this movie coming out? August 9th. Ooh,
August 9th. That's too
that's not
soon.
the best release date.
Oh,
That's
you
not
like
the
the
best
release
release
date?
date.
Yeah, that's getting toward that's the end of the summer
August is
blockbusters.
that's usually where they let out like their Blue Beetles on movies they don't have no faith on.
Which they shouldn't have faith on this, honestly. I don't know. It's just so
uh,
sad to me because it's another one of those situations where it's like the IP itself is so strong that like if you did put care into it, you can make something really interesting. Like Borderlands is known for like its really good humor. Yeah, a lot of it's pretty
mhm,
pop culture-y, but like they really kind of dialed in on like what makes these games interesting to play. And then they
yeah.
made those Telltale games of like Tales of the Borderlands, and I think they either made one or were going to make a second one of those games, and they were beloved. People love them a whole lot. So it's like they have writers that know how to write good material. Are those
Right.
writers on this project? I guess is the
I don't know.
question.
Well, considering what's his name? The guy who helped adapt the Last of Us HBO show. What's his name? Oh, what's his name? He's the guy that did Chernobyl. I
Oh,
don't remember, but that guy.
is it
Um,
Chris? Chris?
Craig Mazin.
Craig
Craig
Mason.
Mazin.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this in the past as well. He was attached to this as a writer and then optioned to take his name off the movie. So, as terms of writing, I don't know if that bodes well. I
Right,
don't know what that
right.
means. I don't know.
He's done really good
Ugh.
stuff. He didn't want to do this.
Yeah. So who knows? August. Yay.
Yeah, I was
It'll be a
never
fun
excited for
time.
this. I'll probably see it for the memes, but that's about it. I don't have faith in this movie.
If I It might be one of those movies where unless I hear it's good, I might not see it. I don't know. Or unless we end up talking about it, a Meta Web situation, and we see it because it's
Right,
so bad. Maybe I don't know.
right. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
I
if you
don't
do
know.
like Borderlands, go ahead and play Borderlands 2. I like
Two's
the
great.
one after
I
that,
love
the
to.
pre-sequel. That was a decent game as well. Uh,
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't get very far in that one. I think I own that one. I just never got that far into it.
yeah. It's usually packaged with Borderlands 2. It's decent. It's
Yeah.
not as good as that one, but I had fun. I enjoyed
Yeah. We'll see. Alrighty. That is the main topic. We've done it.
it.
We are actually cranking this mini-sode, baby. We're gonna do it.
Let's
We're
go
gonna
for the
do
first time
it.
ever.
First time ever. Brian, should we now finish up the episode in our final segment of the week,
Let's do it.
which we like to call Free for All listeners, title pending. This is a segment where we can all do whatever we want, talk about our day, talk about our life, fight, rant, recommend stuff. It's whatever we want. Brian, what you got for this week?
Oh no. You go ahead and go first.
All right, I'll go first then. Because I'm just going to talk about Final Fantasy a little more right now.
Let's go.
Because this game comes out in like 4 days. I cannot wait. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play it, but I'm going to fucking buy it anyways. Because I missed the boat on getting remake on disc, physical media. Speaking of physical media, I've been very close to buying it on eBay for way too much money just to own it physically. I haven't done it yet, but I will be getting Rebirth. Day one, I'll get it. I don't know if I'll open AirPlay, but they did because Square. It's Square, right? That
Yeah.
makes this
Yeah,
game.
yeah, Square Enix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did this thing where they added an update to the demo, which was released a couple weeks ago. And in it, they added a little bit of an open world section that they've been talking about. That this game's gonna have a lot. It's basically an open world type of game. Much more than just open zoney as the first as remake was. I mean, I haven't gotten to beating it. I've played maybe like an hour and a half of it. Um, we talked a little bit about this past weekend because like I said, we all saw each other in person. I'm slightly worried that I'm going to like this game less for that exact reason. I'm
Because it gets
worried it's
too
going to
open.
be too open, too much. For me, again, this is a very personal thing in terms of I just do not know how much time I'll have. I
Hmm.
want to explore everything. I don't. I'm worried this is gonna be a Witcher game, and I don't want that to be because I need to beat this game.
So, as someone I haven't, so I have not seen the demo like at all. I have not looked at a single person play it. I've not looked at a single screenshot. I have no idea what the demo looks like. I know. I guess I've seen some screenshots of like the Nibelheim,
Mhm.
Cloud, and Sephiroth situation. Outside of that, I
Right.
do not know what anything else looks like. That being said, I have played the original Final Fantasy VII multiple times. The big thing about Final Fantasy
Mhm.
VII is Midgar is a very small section of it, which they turn into a 40-hour game somehow, which is crazy. And then after Midgar, the game opens up. I wouldn't say that it's open world, but it is an overworld map to it, kind of similar
Right.
to Chrono Trigger, things like that. A lot of SNES and early PlayStation 1 games kind of did this, where it's like you have the open world that you
Yeah.
kind of have a small little character run around, and then you'll have some random encounters. But the big thing is you still have to do things more or less in order. There might be a little
Right.
few things that you do that. I assume they're going to do something similar, but maybe make it more interesting and maybe put some more side quests in, kind of like things you can do in each town you go to. But from what I
Mhm.
expect, I'm going to assume that they're gonna still make it so that there's a kind of a railroad that takes you the way that you are supposed to go.
Yeah.
That is just my assumption based on how I know the way the
Right.
game flows. That may or may not be true because there are things where it's like, yes, you at this point you have to go to Gold Saucer. At this point you have to go to where Barrett lives. At this point you have to go and meet
Mhm.
this person. I assume it's gonna be that way. If it's not, then I will agree with you. That's a little too much. I don't know that I
I'm
want too
just
much choice in the matter because I just don't think that feels good. One thing I do like about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and one thing that I think makes it as pretty as it makes it work as well as it does, it makes it feel as good as it does, the fact that it's pretty railroaded and it's pretty like your environments that
yeah.
you in are pre-rendered already and already there, and you walk through it, you hit a loading screen, you go to the next. The loading screen's not long, but you hit
Yep.
it. If it gets to a point where I'm running around for like 20 minutes and I ain't hit no loading screen or anything like that, that's
I
where
think it's gonna do
that's where I start feeling a little
that.
worried. I don't know that they'll be able to. I know it's on PlayStation 5 now, so that is a big leap. So I do know they can do a lot
Yeah.
more than they could on PlayStation 4, and that is important.
Mhm.
I don't know that I need them to do more just because they can do more, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and that's where I'm a little worried based off the demo, and especially because I also mentioned this. I don't like the update that they made to the map in
Hmm.
terms of remakes map. I love how you can see the edges of the world, the whole in the map. You can see exactly where it ends, exactly how far you can go. This one they went with. This is what the you could. It's one of those maps like you see the land. It just looks like a globe, like you're in space looking down at it.
Hmm.
And so it's hard to tell what's what. It's like mountainous, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know about this one, guys.
Right.
I don't know about this one. But I mean, obviously, the actual content, I'm is gonna be amazing. The combat is still so fucking good. It's so great. People are already obsessing over Tifa's outfits. That's bound to happen.
As they would.
Um, as they would. Um, but and yes, it might be a game where, and like we've briefly talked about this, where not all of remake side quests were really worth doing. A little bit meandering, and I don't know if they'll learn their lesson in terms of this one. If the
They get
I don't know,
very
I don't
old
know.
school RPG with a lot of what they did with that
Yeah.
game, and it's kind of interesting. I haven't played Final Fantasy 16 either, because of course it's not on PC yet. But I'm interested to see if they
Mm,
treated side quests the same way. But it seems like Final Fantasy still has that really old formula. Because one thing that I think that now that we're making like new Final Fantasy games, a lot of them follow the Final Fantasy 14 formula. There's a lot of bloat, and it's an MMO. That's a massively multiplayer online game, the 14.
Yeah.
There's a lot of quests that are just bloat quests that are just like, oh, go and pick up 3 grapes from Master Ochin and then go back and why the fuck do I want to do that? I'm supposed to be fighting fucking crime and saving the fucking world. Why am I bringing 3 grapes to Master
Mhm.
Ochin? I don't give a fuck about that man. He's not my friend.
Yep.
Final Fantasy VII Remake was the exact same way, where it's like some of them were just like, oh, I'm a reporter and I wish you could go and kill those 3 monster men over there. And it's like, okay, I guess, sure. Why the fuck not?
Yep.
And you do things like
Yep.
that. And I never minded it because I completed like all the side quests I've come across so far. I haven't beaten the game yet because it's just like I just enjoy playing the game. Like it gives me another chance to just beat ass as Cloud and Tifa and Barrett and all that. So
Yeah.
that was enough of an excuse to
Again,
do
that's
things
what
like that.
the combat is just so good that
Right.
another excuse to have another combat encounter is
Exactly. The
always
game is fun enough
you
to
know?
play that like I didn't even mind when they made me do some real stupid shit. Like no, when they made me do shit that had nothing to do with fighting, I was pissed. I didn't enjoy
Yeah.
that so much. But
And there are a couple of those. Go
yes.
find all these cats. It's like,
I was
okay.
like, okay,
Yay.
that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see. This game looks like it's gonna be massive. It's already getting stellar reviews. It says it's great. Blah 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 blah. I'm enough hype. I'm ready to get. I'm ready to get it on.
I just want it to come to PC. Please
Yeah.
and thanks.
Hopefully, an announcement will come soon. Hopefully, an announcement will come soon.
Because I can't wait. And I don't want to buy a PS5.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And apparently you shouldn't because the PS6 is coming out next year or some shit.
Oh.
And as usual, shout out to God of War Ragnarok. What you got for us, Brian?
Boo, tomato, tomato. Anyway, I can talk about. I watched a TV show that was actually shitty reality TV because that's what we love, right?
Woo!
We love reality TV. We love when other people's lives fucking sucks. Makes us feel better about ours. I watched a acclaimed show that came out during the pandemic. Love is Blind.
Oh boy!
They put out a new season actually on Valentine's Day, and it's not finished yet. They release it in like a few episodes a week. And so far there have been 9 episodes. What's today? Today's only Monday.
Oh wow!
I guess new episodes come out. I didn't mean to age our show. It's not Monday. It's actually Wednesday, friends. You real time. It just came out. Yeah, but I've been watching that show.
Yep.
I hate this show. It's one of those things that I watch it because I'm an investment because I've watched so many seasons at this point. But it's like I know somewhere on this earth there's a better version of this show because it's just so. One thing about Netflix is if you give them a production, they are going to overproduce the hell out of it. They hate anything to feel normal and natural. Everything has to be weirdly ambient occlusion, weird, extra crazy music, lights and cameras. And
right.
everything's just too intense. They're just doing too much. Make it more Love Island, more Bachelor-esque, where it's just like we're filming some raw shit. No one edited this. No one put a fucking filter on it. You just made it. Also, this is a show for people that don't know what Love is Blind is. It's a show about basically for a few weeks you talk to people only. You don't see what they look like, and then you decide whether or not you want to marry them. It goes straight to marriage based on the whole aspect of the show is supposed to be like, is love truly blind? Can you marry someone without knowing what they look like? Can you love someone without knowing what they look like? The show falls short. Everybody's fucking hot. Everybody's incredibly attractive. A lot of people have work done of some sort from a plastic surgeon. You really can't lose. And I think that's one of the biggest issues of the show. It's like, if you really want to prove that love is blind.
Like it wasn't always like that, was it?
Yes, unfortunately, it was always like that. Everyone was always pretty people. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you really dug deep into the show, everybody in that show probably has an IMDb page. These are people that just want to already be famous, is what it comes down to. But if you actually want to make a good version of the show, you would break out the GameStop motherfuckers, the fucking weirdos that hang out in their basement but have like really nice voices, the horse girls, things like that. People that like are maybe atypical as far as conventional attractiveness are, but at the same time, like people that are obviously deserving of love and maybe not get a second look in normal life by some other people. Because I think that's what makes it so interesting. It's like, yeah, you might think a bro has a hot ass voice and is super cool, and then you see him and he's wearing fucking Jinko jeans, and you're like, fuck, my guy that I love wears Jinko jeans. This sucks. Or fedora. You know what I mean? This show doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's really boring in that aspect. And then everybody just has no fucking personality. There's not a personality on this fucking show. If anything, the personality is that everybody's a cheater. Everybody's a bad person.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There's all kinds of stuff coming out on showing them on like TikTok and Twitter of like, oh, well, actually, this dude was actually engaged before he got on the show. This guy had a girlfriend the whole
Oh,
time. Yeah,
fuck.
shit like that. A lot of shit like that's happening right now.
Oh, I love how it's outside of the show.
Yes. So it's not a part of the show at all, which is really interesting. Yeah. And that's been fun, but it's a messy show. It's so funny to watch people that are obviously unhealed in their trauma and their lifestyle try to navigate life. And that's what makes this show so fun to watch, is that you can really tell when people haven't been to therapy and then try to communicate.
Right.
Yeah. That's really the main thing about it. I don't want to recommend it because it's not a good show, but if you don't have anything else to watch, it's a great show to fall asleep to because it's messy. And you get to watch people be very psychopathic because they tell each other they love each other within a week, and that's really weird.
Oof. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's tough.
That's what happens when you drink a bunch of alcohol and get no sleep. Because that's all that show is.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. I'll look forward to your highlights of it when you tell us like someone had freaked out in the finale live or some shit. You know?
Yeah,
because it always happens.
There's some tea that's supposed to be happening this week, so I'm excited to watch it.
Oh boy. Alrighty, well, listeners, that is our show, Brian. We fucking did it. We somehow still managed to get to about 50 minutes of time somehow.
I'll take it.
But we did it. Listeners, that is the end of the show. You can email us at thefortress@gmail.com. Fortress spelled F-O-U-R. If you would email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, anything like that you want us to talk about in the future. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fortress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Thank you. Follow the 3 Bollywood R's. I almost forgot. Rate, recommend, and reviews to anyone and everyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping out at the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here. Even when you're not here. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_. By the way, Alex and Peter's Films and Devin. Find him. I don't know. Probably ordering some Dune popcorn buckets or some shit. I don't know.
Can you put your dick in it? Anyway.
Yes. Next week, I don't know. Could be Avatar. Could be Dune. Could be Final Fantasy. Could be none of the above. Or all of the above. Who knows? But we're excited. Also, Avatar is fine. There you go. That's my quick review.
Wow.
It's fine. And as usual, happy holidays, everyone. And put a coat on. It's cold out there.
It was 70 degrees today.
Yeah, it was actually a nice day out. Good, because I'm sorry, listeners. I probably sound like crap this whole episode. I'm very congested because of children. But it's fine. Man, parents, tell your kids to cover their mouths when they cough. Let's lesson learned. But thank you, listeners. We'll see you here once again next week on another episode in the Fortress of...